My first favorite, should I just combine them?
No,
cool?
one at a time.
One at a time? One at a time it is. Stefan Diggs, coming off of his worst game of the year, certainly his fewest targets of the year. Prior to that game, he had at least 8 targets in his first 4 games, at least 12 PPR points in each of his first 4 games. I think he can do better than 12 PPR points most weeks. And this Buffalo offense is among the best in football. I would imagine the numbers are coming his way, and fantasy managers who drafted Stefan Diggs are unhappy with what they've gotten. If they are 3-2, 2-3, 1-4, 0-5, -1-6, then Stefan Diggs is someone you should absolutely target off their team.
Quick rebuttal, Heath.
Should 0-5 teams be making trades at this point in redraft?
Yes. Everybody is allowed to make
trades. It's fine. Everybody's not allowed to make trades. If you're mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, you are no longer allowed to make trades.
Who's mathematically eliminated after 5 weeks?
Nobody at this point, but I'm just saying in like 3 weeks, the 0-5 team will be.
Not if they're 3-5. We're probably 2-6. You guys still consider Diggs a top 5 wide receiver?
Probably not.
In there.
Okay, would you rather have Justin Jefferson or Diggs?
Oh, Jefferson.
Would you rather have
Mike Williams or Diggs?
Yeah.
I had someone offer me Mike Williams for Diggs last night.
And?
I turned it down.
You'd rather have Diggs?
I'll take Diggs over Mike Williams.
Okay.
They're very close in the trade chart. Diggs is higher.
All right, Dave, who's your second buy low?
I am interested in acquiring Javonte Williams, especially if I have playoff aspirations and I am not 0-5 or 1-4. I think that the time will eventually come where he is going to be the lead back in Denver. I know so far this season it's been it's actually impressive how they've split the reps nearly 50-50 in every way, shape, and form. But I think that he's a little bit more explosive than Melvin Gordon. He's certainly being used more in the pass game. He has at least 3 catches in each of his last 3 games. And we saw it last year. A bunch of rookie running backs broke out in the second half of the season. I think now's the time to get Javonte before he has a big game, which might come this week against Las Vegas. And then he's going to be too rich for people's blood.
Heath, do you agree? I don't know how to feel about this one. I think a lot of people feel this way about Javonte Williams, but it has been so 50-50. He hasn't separated himself from Gordon. And Dave's right about all those rookie running backs who had, big finishes, but I don't know. I feel like the circumstances were a little different. What do you think?
Well, I think almost all of those rookie running backs were better than Javonte Williams. The only thing I'm skeptical of is he was a 50-50 running back in college. He's always been a 50-50 running back. If Melvin Gordon disappeared, I'm not so sure that he wouldn't be a 50-50 running back with somebody else. And the other thing is
Josh Jacobs barely got any work in college. I don't know that
and
really
I was skeptical about Josh Jacobs until they gave him 20 touches a game. Like some backs do overcome that, but I don't also know if the perception of Javonte Williams is any different than what Dave just said.
You can't buy low on him because people expect.
I think almost everyone believes Javonte Williams is going to be better than Melvin Gordon almost every week. This is the week that Javonte Williams is going to take over from Melvin Gordon. I've heard that 3 weeks now.
Let me make it clear that I don't think this is the week where it happens, where all of a sudden we go like 70-30. I would expect still 50-50 this week.
Yeah.
And I also think that Denver will use another running back no matter what, but it could be 65-35 Javonte over Melvin. Melvin could get pushed out of passing downs work. There's a bunch of different ways where Javonte can be better and thus more reliable for fantasy. Because right now, you're right. We just don't know which Broncos running back is going to be great. I don't think they know. They're, like I said, doing an impressive job of keeping their workloads even like Steven.
Yeah.
So I feel like cream rises to the top. It's one of those things. And I'll tell you one more. If you think that I'm wrong on this and that Javonte Williams is just too stuck in the timeshare, then shoot a little lower and trade for Melvin Gordon.
But why? It's like
his value's less.
Why do I want a guy? I don't know that I want anyone in this backfield. I mean, they do run the ball a lot.
Sure. I'm just saying if you need a running back.
Yeah. Sorry. All right, let's go. Heath, you're up. You're number one.
And this one may be one where you'll say you can wait a week, although with what they've allowed in the passing game, it may not be. I'm buying low on Miles Sanders. I don't really believe that Kenneth Gainwell is taking this job from him. He played 75% of the snaps in week 5, which was a season high. He's played at least 60% of the snaps in every game so far this season. He's been relatively efficient except for the 6 yards on 5 catches last week. He has at least 3 catches in 4 of 5 games, and he's kind of viewed in the same range as Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams. I think Miles Sanders is going to be better than them. The schedule gets much easier after week 6 against Tampa Bay.
Rebuttal?
The rebuttal is Philadelphia. They're running a league low 13.8 rush attempts per game with their running back so far this season. So it'll take what appears to be a significant change for them to go back to their running backs even more. They're not giving them the ball as much as we'd like them to do. So that's the first thing. And then last week was a good step for Miles Sanders. I agree. He played, I think it was like 75% of the snaps last week. It was really good. But Gainwell, especially in a game like this, he might get a real chance to step up. And every time they've got a game where they're not going to be able to run the ball, I think Gainwell is going to have that type of opportunity, and that could cost Sanders more in the long run.
Doesn't Miles Sanders have the same number of targets as Kenneth Gainwell, or like
he might,
one more?
But I don't know if he's as good of a receiver as Gainwell can be.
Yeah,
He's been okay, but we've seen him botch receptions before.
Gainwell had a 6-catch game, but other than that, really, Sanders has been more involved in the passing game than Gainwell, at least in terms of catches. I don't know.
Well, look, Heath's value has never been lower for Miles Sanders.
Their next 3 games are great, Heath, after Tampa Bay, Vegas, Detroit, and the Chargers all rank 24th or worse against running backs. Your next buy low.
I'm going to go with Jalen Waddle. For one thing, it shouldn't be surprising that a rookie wide receiver gets off to a slow start. Guys like Jamar Chase and apparently Kadarius Toney are the exception. But I really just think that it's hard to really measure him with Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. I think that Tua will be better when Tua gets back, and he could be back very shortly. They can't get anyone else healthy, but I do think that when Devontae Parker's there, it's almost better for Waddle because then he's not the only wide receiver that the team has to worry about. I think in the second half of the season, Waddle has a good chance to be a high-end number 3 wide receiver, if not better than that.
Okay, who would you trade for Waddle? Would you rather have Jacoby Myers or Jalen Waddle?
Waddle for sure.
Would you rather have Eli Mitchell or Jalen Waddle?
I think Waddle.
Mitchell for Dave, Waddle for Heath. Okay.
Running back. Yep.